Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Harmony One. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out, it is free to join. Okay, so what we're looking out for here, um, basically within the previous video, we're looking at a couple of the macro options. We're going to go over them briefly towards the end, but we're looking for that potential of actually looking to find support down here in this support box between this 1665 to this lower range of this 1198. So we did hold this zone here, and potentially we could start to look to move away from this. So if we were looking at this as an impulsive structure, basically what we'd be looking for would be a higher move up towards this zone of this 09558 region. So that would be where we'd be looking for this third wave. So I've drawn this trend, this channel on here rather, just as an example. I mean, I don't have enough touch points to draw this accurately, but this is what it could look like. And potentially we could look to form something like this, where potentially we look to form a 1-2 in here, another 1-2, then we start to get some moves to the upside here, and then potentially look for this third wave to potentially test this top channel, something like that. So that's what we'd be looking for. We don't have confirmation yet, and this relies entirely on holding this 1485. If for as long as we hold that area, potentially we can look for this bigger push to the upside here. So this is what we're looking for. What we'd have to be cautious of would be a move that only moved up towards this 1-1. We actually failed to achieve this 9558. If this is a third wave, we want to see this be a nice strong move with lots of volume and really get back over some of these key high points that we have here. This 3407 being the initial one that we need to get over. For as long as we stay below this, we need to be aware that we could see further continuation to the downside. And really, we don't have enough confirmation yet. We are managing to settle back above some of these key areas, but we don't have that confirmation. So we're talking about this zone of consolidation as well, potentially being a area we could move into, as well as this fourth wave. So yeah, not too far off. Okay. So now if we want to look for bullish continuation here, there is a few things that we need to look at within this structure. So currently looking at the move, I'm still looking at this potentially as a 1-2 and a 1-2. So we're going to go over that now. So we're going to go over the bullish stuff first, and then we're going to talk about what we need to be aware of, looking for that potential that we could actually look to actually go down lower. So what we are looking for here, if I can just find it, is that bullish breakout. Where is it gone? There. So what we're looking for here basically is the possibility that within here we formed a 1-2 and additionally another 1-2. So this is viable for as long as we stay above this zero or this 1860 region. If we stay above that, then potentially this is still in play. And what we'd want to do here is actually maintain this low as well, this 1972. So for as long as we hold these two lows here, potentially we could actually look to start to extend to the upside here, where we could start to get a bigger five-wave move, which is looking to actually move up towards this zone of this 0281 region for confirmation. Now, this is just a typical zone. Potentially these could look to push up even higher than this, depending on whether we get extension within the structure. But what I would be looking for would be that potential that within this we form a 1-2 and another 1-2 in here. And then basically we start to get a bigger five-wave structure up here. So confirmation would only come by moving up past this 03527, getting an additional fourth wave, and then looking for this fifth wave. So that would only then confirm this bigger five-wave structure, and basically from there we'd have a couple of things that we'd need to look at. The problem within this structure is if we just moved up to this 4691 area, which would be this 1-1, this primary move that we've had at the beginning here, this could then actually lead this to just be a corrective structure in a three-wave move, and then actually we look to break down lower from that point. So what we need to be aware of is if we just see three-wave moves up, these are corrective moves, which often then does mean that we will be continuing with the previous trend direction, which in this case is down. So we need to be aware of that. There is the potential that we could see this extend out and even reach up as high as this 095 region, but we don't have that confirmation yet. So we need to get back above some of these key zones. We really want to get back above this high of this 2813. for as long as we're below that, we need to be aware we could still look to continue to the downside. Even if we do get a bigger three-wave move up here, we'd still have to be cautious that we don't continue down. So we're going to have to just take it sort of one step at a time here. What we want to see in the immediate short term is a move up towards this 2811 area, and then basically looking for confirmation of a fourth and a fifth. That would be the first thing that I want to see. If we only see a five-wave move up to here, basically what we then want to see is whether we manage to hold this low. If we form something like this, where we look at this as a 1, 2, then potentially within here, this could form another 1, 2, and then we could look to push up. So that's the whole idea here, is forming these higher lows within this pattern, keeping that support, and then looking to progress up. We want to see some good volume starting to come into this move if it is a wave 3. Otherwise, we need to be careful that we haven't actually just not completed this wave 2 yet. So if we haven't completed this wave 2, what we need to be cautious of is we could see something like this play out, where basically within this we have this is an A wave, this is potentially could be a bigger B wave, something like this, and then we actually look to break down for that C wave afterwards. It doesn't have to happen, obviously, but just keeping an eye out. If we only see a three-wave move up to this 1-to-1 area of this 24.55, then basically we could look for that potential to actually break down. Obviously, if we do get it in a five-wave structure, this could then find support again, potentially in above some of these key areas, and then look to blast off to the upside. So that's what we're looking for in the bullish sense. We don't have confirmation of this, and really we need to be cautious of how this plays out, because if we fail to take these highs here, there are a couple of ways we can still look at this move. I am also being cautious. We have this descending diagonal line here that could offer us resistance. Potentially, if we did get a resistance here, we'd have to be careful that we didn't get something like a triangle playing out. So we're going to go over that as well at the end of the video. But basically, this is the bullish case here. We need to hold this key zone, even if we do come down lower and we look to actually reject from here and break down one more time. What we need to be hold is this 1855 to the 1632. Losing this 1632 dramatically reduces the possibility of extension to the upside here, and would then possibly mean that actually we could be either coming back down lower into the support zone, or alternatively continuing a bigger move to the downside here. So that's why it's really important we get back above this high. If we don't, then we need to just be cautious of continuation to the downside. So the other thing, this is what I'm talking about basically. If we just form a three-wave structure here to the upside, we need to be cautious. I am looking out for that possibility that within this, we could potentially look to actually test the top of this channel again, and that could then complete this move. And then we'd have to look at this slightly different, because if this is the case, we could no longer look at this potentially as a five-wave move. We'd have to count it as an ABC, potentially an X wave and another ABC, and then that could just be a WX and a Y pattern. So if we do push up here, it doesn't have to be in a bigger. That's why I say if we only reach that 1-to-1 of this move here, we need to be cautious that we don't actually break down here for another leg to the downside, and actually look to come back down deeper into that support zone that we looked at earlier on in the video, which is basically here at this area of this 1665 to this 1198. So this zone here is actually, if we had to move up back to let me actually just see. I'm not sure where I drew this off of. Okay, so this is off that current high. So off of the current high here, over this, basically we just have, if we had to drop directly down here, 1-to-1 would actually be this 1188. If we do, however, push up here one more time, that could actually push this 1-to-1 up, and potentially push this higher up here. If we came up to that 786, for instance, which would be towards this 2544, potentially that could look to push us 1-to-1 towards that 1319 area instead. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. There's always a possibility that, just like we can always extend to the upside, we need to be aware that there is always those potentials that, this could become a 1-2, this could become another 1 and a 2, and then we actually look to break down much deeper here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. If we do start to lose this low point, this 0.938, potentially this could be setting up for a bigger five-wave structure where we get a 1-2, 1-2, three, four, five, another fourth and a fifth, and then that could actually look to complete us lower down here. So we need to be aware that, there is that potential that we could look to break down. The other thing that I want to talk about is looking at this move slightly different, because we're talking about this potentially being a B wave. I'm going to actually just go over some of the things quickly. Uh, we're talking about one option still being a possibility of this being a fourth wave. If this is the case, we have to be careful of something like this as an a B, form another five zigzag up here as a C wave, potentially D and E, and then we could get a triangle in this position, which could then actually mean that we look to break down one more time, and that could actually look to potentially lead to a sell-off down here towards this 00698 to this 00437. So this is still possible. We could still see a new low here. And we're gonna have to monitor this move to see how exactly it breaks down, because we were also talking about in the previous video, until we actually take this high here, we can also argue that within this, we were looking at the possibility that there's a diagonal within this move in itself, which is possible to count, but it's not the neatest way of doing it. But we also need to just be cautious that we don't have something like this rather playing out where this is an A, B, C, this becomes a B wave, we get another C wave down like this, or wave three rather, a four and a five, and then we get basically this kind of a descending contracting diagonal. So this is still on the cards. I'm keeping an eye on this. If we do get this move down in the zigzag, potentially we need to be careful of this additional fourth wave here, and then looking for another zigzag to the downside to complete. So these are just some of the possibilities that are still on the table. We need to be aware that there is always that potential that we could look to push down deeper within this structure. So yeah, we need to be careful within this. There is good potential for this bullish push to the upside, though we haven't really confirmed it yet. The first part of that was forming this low. Now we need to see how this reacts. If we don't get the reaction we want for a third wave playing out to the upside here, then basically we'd have to just be cautious that this move could then just actually start to fall apart. Even if we did form something like this, where we form 3, 4, 5 up into here, maybe come back up into this zone of this 46.15, and then we actually look to break down from there. Uh, it is still a viable option, because 1-to-1, yeah, I mean that would be towards the top end of this box, which would be a 50% of this as a wave three. So keep an eye on this. If we do push up higher here, this 46.15 area and this 47.55, that could be a potential zone of a turnaround if we are looking for further sell-off to occur here. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support us, and we do appreciate it. So everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care out there.